Hi, and welcome back to Some Old Guy's Demon Souls Let's Play. This series is on creating a mage. Part 3 in the series. We're going to go after the third item to help create a more powerful mage. And we're also going to go after a spell in the same location. That's a significant upgrade from what we currently have. And we're going to go after our spell vendor. This is all kind of a pretty busy location for the mage. So let's get started. Alright, so previously we collected the Crisp Blade, then we collected our Crescent Falchion, so now we're going to go into the Prison of Hope in the Third Archstone and collect our Ring of Magical Sharpness. We're going to free Sage Freck, and with any luck we're going to defeat the Doll Demon and get the Soul Ray spell. So let's go. Alright, so a lot of people really hate this world. I guess they get lost or turned around in it. I never really had much problem with it. You have to go around and collect these keys. And there's not a whole lot of enemies, but the enemies that are here are fairly stout and magical in nature, so we'll see how things go with them. But there's a lot of cells that are locked, and I used to actually open all those cells because some of them have items in them. But if you come back to the world afterwards, then the cells stay open, but the people that are in the cells do regenerate, so they'll try to push you off the ledges as we go through the prison, and so I pretty much just open the ones now that have the items in them that I want. And of course I pick up all the items that are out and in available in easy locations. But if you are in here and are wanting to get the items, there's several to pick up. Some of the cells have bodies hanging from their feet that will have an item indicating on them, and most of those are lotuses for either bleed or plague or poison. So if you're needing to collect those things, I mean, by all means, go in and get them. You gotta watch this guy. He will push you right off that ledge. And that is a instant death. Now, this is also the place where we free up our spice vendor that allows us to get spice to quickly replenish our MP when it, or our mana when it runs out. So actually 4 important items for our magic users. So we've collected our 2 keys off of this floor. So we go back to where we started, and there's a gate that's locked that we can't get through. So we'll be able to open that gate now and then proceed through the level. See, there's one of the items like I was talking about that's on a hanging body. They are very difficult to get down unless you have a bow, and they're not just crucial items to get, so I'm just going to kind of pass on them for now. If you have a bow, though, and you use your precision or manual aim, you can shoot the shackles and the body will fall to the ground. It's one reason why I don't open these cells. There are a whole stack of guys in there, and if you die and come back, they will all be pouring out into the hallway to interfere with your travel. They're not hard bosses to beat, but this gate is locked, so we got to find a key for it. Those guys aren't real hard to defeat, but in numbers they're pretty rough. Now, these Iron Maidens are scattered throughout the prison, and there's 2 of them you really do not want to open. They have a Dregling in them, and he will attack you, and you will be immediately poisoned when he does. Yeah, I almost messed that one up real good. So be aware when you come out of here, there is a big hole in the floor. Right there. There are a few of those throughout. That one you can actually fall down and survive. The rest of them you cannot. So this Iron Maiden right here, and it usually will have a message in front of it, and it's got a dude in it, and when you open it, he will attack you with a poison dagger, and you will be instantly poisoned. I have never not been poisoned by him. Did I get both of these? Yeah. So in one of those, I picked up the black leather armor, which is actually kind of a critical armor in the game, because it's one of the only armors that allots you additional protection from poison. So when we go down into the poison world, the Valley of Defilement, we will wear that armor. That, and in the Swamp of Sorrows as well, to prevent poison from exposure. So it is a very handy armor. And as a mage, it really is good for you to learn and get familiar with your backstabs and your backstab window. I mean, it does a very significant amount of damage to most enemies. So it is a good thing to get practiced at. Can save you a lot of heartache. So this lady here, she gives us a little bit more lore, and she is our primary vendor for spice.
You're still intact, aren't you? Where do you call home? Dear me, I shouldn't cry. Oh, perhaps you'd like something from my collection. I've known better days. I was once the wife of nobility, and I have some nice things to show for it. Before, there were many others trapped here, but they were driven mad and ventured above of their own volition. Redemption. There exists no such thing. The Queen banished that depraved old man from the land. He returned in strange golden garb with foul demons in tow. They pillaged Great Latria, land of the learned, and shut us away in this prison. Since then, they've been feeding off our souls, telling us over and over that if we go above, we will be granted redemption. I know the truth. The church goddess may die, but never for long. We are trapped below forever. Redemption.
Okay, so she's ended her dialogue for us, and she sells some grass, but the most important things that she sells for you are these spices and these lotuses, the plague and poison lotuses. You can pick several up throughout the prison, but if you run low, you can always come back to her and pick those up. So she's good to remember her location. She is one of those vendors that you've got to fight a couple of guys to get to. So now that we've picked up a few fresh spice, we don't have to rely so much on using... We don't have to rely so much on using the equipment, the actual weapons, and to regenerate our mana. So now we've collected our keys. We can start actually... We still have a few more keys to collect, but we can now move through the prison a little bit more freely. Okay, this is where our Venerable Sage Freck is located. He is in the third cell. Beware that hole. That's a insta-death hole. You fall down that, it's done. We start all over again. But this door, unfortunately, is currently locked. So we've still got a couple of keys to pick up. Unfortunately, the key to his cell, of course, it's a Dark Souls game. It's not going to be easy to get. It is nearly at the end of the level. So these gates as well. But fear not, I know where the keys are, and I will show you how to get them. All right. All right, there's another person of interest in the prison, and his name is Rydel. He's not a real benefit to you as a mage unless you're kind of doing a spell sword build that's going to be using a weapon more often. He does have a pretty powerful weapon that scales off of your magic stat, but the only way you get it is to kill him as a Black Phantom, and it's pretty hard work, and to be honest, beyond new game level, the weapon is not all that powerful. It kind of gets diminished a little bit when you move into the next game levels. So, but we'll go down and talk to him. If we get the key for Rydel and we free him, we can get a ring from him. So it is good to go ahead and do his story.
You are a sane one, are you not? My name is Rydel. Please, liberate me from this jail. I have precious little time. I must retrieve an article from my corpse. As you can see, the only thing that remains of me is my soul. My corpse lies in another cell. I fancy it a fine, rotten mess by now. I've no interest in my corporeal flesh, but I left upon my person a keepsake of my late wife. I will soon fade into the beyond. My only wish is to do so near that token of my beloved. A retainer to the king once held the key to this cell. That foul pig with his gluttonous, swaying belly. As you can see, the only thing that remains of me, my corpse, I've no interest. I will soon fade.
Okay, so his dialogue is finished. The adjudicator used to have the key to his cell. The boss that we killed in the very first level that we went to, the adjudicator no longer has the key. It is here in the prison. Or no, it's not in the prison. It's in the next world beyond the prison. And you can only get it once you've attained a pure white world tendency. And our current world tendency is middle ground, nearly white. You see the balls underneath the archstones. They indicate your world tendency. So until we get our world tendency up, we can't even get the key. But once we've got our world tendency up to pure white, this debris will also clear, and we'll have access to those items down there. There is a set of armor down there, of light armor, and there's the three-cornered witch's hat also. I generally don't pick this item up just because it's a waste for me. It's a crossbow and some heavy bolts. So, I mean, if you want a crossbow, there it is. Alright, so this next area, this is the ground floor of the prison. The enemy, the first enemy we're going to run into out here, I don't know if it has an official name or not. I'm sure it does. I've never bothered to look it up. I just call it the Ball of Arms. He throws a soul ray spell, first off. And when he has, I don't know, 10 or 15 arms hanging off of him. And every one of those arms has like a claymore style sword in it. And he does a insane amount of damage. So he's not something that we want to go toe-to-toe with at all. So just... And I don't know if you noticed or not the damage difference when I put the Crisp Blade in my hand versus the Crescent Falchion. The Crescent Falchion, we're only going to do 29 points of damage. Whereas when we have the Crisp Blade, we're doing 35. So, just to show the benefit of having that blade on there. And again, with a lot of these enemies, a lot of times patience is your best friend. So these dreglings over here, they're not worth enough souls to make it worth my effort to break those pots and kill them. But you can if you want to. If you're a kill everything kind of guy, there's some opportunity there. We got a crystal lizard right here, but want to be real careful chasing it down this hallway because we have a very large hole down here that, again, is an instant death if you fall through it. So keep that in mind. Now, oh, it's the one at the very front. A lot of these cages on this floor have pocket souls in them. So I do always like to go around and collect those up. They're nice towards the end of the game. I try to save them until I get close to the end of the game. And when I make the jump to new game, I use them to level up after I've gone into new game. It's a significant bump, and when you go in, because when you go into new game, the gameplay gets significantly more difficult. So it's nice to have that little bump. So this little door is tucked behind a bunch of coffins. It's not There's only 2 items out here. The Moonlight Shard, and then there's an S-Stock over here. And if you're not familiar with it, the S-Stock is a type of rapier. It's a little bit longer and it hits a little bit harder than a regular rapier. Now we're getting ready to meet that lovely statue right there, the Arrow Maiden. We will activate that trap here in just a minute. It's a wonderfully annoying little trap. A lot of people don't realize there is a back door so that you don't have to deal with the trap. But there's also a trophy for dealing with the trap. And I'm not gonna... I've already got the trophy for it. So I'm not gonna mess with it. I may in a video later on down the road do the trophy, but basically what you have to do is you have to roll down that bridge until you get to the Maiden, and then turn it off from behind. So that's the Wardens Key. That key gives us access to a shortcut of sorts. Well, actually it is a shortcut to bypass that arrow, and also allows us to bypass that Arrow Maiden. So we just have one more key to collect at this point, and we'll be able to go turn Freck loose and then face off with our boss. There's a little dregling around here that likes to run up to you and hit you. He'll run up while you're in the cell and then kind of block the door so you can't get out. These 2 items here, there's the silver bracelets, which increase the amount of souls you collect, and then the full fluted armor set. Now we have no use for the fluted armor, so we will send all that to storage just because it's extra weight. We'll go ahead and send the black leather stuff as well. We'll keep the bracelets though, because we're going to go ahead and put those on. The wizard's gloves are more of an aesthetic than anything else. The silver bracelets, however, they give us increased souls on all of our kills. So now we'll get more souls from everything that we kill. So, and this side, we don't have to have any holes to worry about, so we can just go ahead and walk around. Oh, I completely walked past the ring, but we got to go back upstairs to get Freck anyway, so we'll get that when we go up there. Some of y'all that are familiar with this level have probably been screaming, "You forgot the ring, you forgot the ring," I'm sure. So we'll go back up here real quick. Which, in all honesty, we really had to go back up here anyway. So, now we can open these 2 doors, which gives us access to our shortcut. So, alright, run up here real quick and grab Rydel, or not Rydel, we'll grab Freck, or Freak, or however his name is pronounced. Oh wait, Freck is on the the last key. I'm sorry, it was a late night last night. But our Ring of Magical Sharpness is right here, so. So in this last cell on the 4th floor, again, this Iron Maiden is off by itself. You always want to be leery of those. There is a guy with a poison dagger in that one. So, another pocket soul. And this should be our ring. Nope, another pocket soul. This one, there we go. And I'm thinking that is Rydel's corpse. I haven't had anything confirm it. It's just the guy that falls out of it looks a lot like Rydel. And, you know, same haircut, same armor type. So, okay, so now we're going to go ahead and remove our Thieves' Ring, because the Ring of Magical Sharpness is much more important to the Thieves' Ring for our particular build. So it's good to keep it equipped. I wouldn't unequip it. There's going to be 2 of the Mind Flayers down here, the Prison Wardens, whatever they're actually called. So, and what I prefer to do is, if I have summons with me, is one person go down each hall. But you can come up here, and because there's a crossover, and wait for them to cross over. And go ahead and take care of both of them relatively quickly. And there's an item on each side, so. So this opens up our shortcut for us. Allows us to bypass the entire lower floor of the prison and come out directly behind the Arrow Maiden and shut it off, and then we can clear all the items down there on the bridge. And there's a ring out here on the bridge, and several pocket souls. That's your clever rat ring. It is a key item once you get up and level a little bit for creating your hyper damage builds. It increases your damage when your health falls below 30%, and then if you pair it with the Marion Blade, which does the same, you can get drastic damage increases. And if you add that to a mage who's already pretty OP compared to most other classes by that time, you can make your mage deal some serious amounts of damage. And I mean on the level of one-shotting most bosses. Now, there is another item out here. I usually don't get it because I don't use it, but for the sake of the video, we'll run down here and show you where it's at. And it's a +1 Mercury Rapier. It is good for doing poison damage if you're doing a poison type build. There's nothing else around the corner, so there's no need to go past the body at all. And falling off this ledge again is instant death. So always try to walk those ledges pointed towards that inside wall a little bit, just to ensure I don't get a bump or hit something that causes me to bounce out a little bit and fall off. So alright, the first tower we came through with the fog gate, it's got another set of light armor on it, which is actually a pretty nice looking armor set, to be honest. It's the Imperial Spy armor. I think it looks neat. It's not as nice as the Rogue set, I don't think, but you can't get the Rogue set until you have a pure white world tendency. That is one of the items, if I remember correctly, that is over there by Rydel where we didn't have access. So we get another silver catalyst, and then the Imperial Spy armor. So, but we've got no need to carry the extra catalyst. So we'll get some of this stuff sent to storage because we just really don't need it. Now, the Falchion's base damage, you guys may be seeing the 113 and the 67. The Falchion's base damage is much less than the Rapier. However, if you look at the second category, the magic damage, when you combine the two, the Crescent Falchion is doing quite a bit more damage than that Rapier is. So if, just in case somebody was curious why I was choosing not to use the Rapier over the Falchion. Plus, the Falchion gives us magic regen. So it's just a more beneficial tool for the Mage over the Rapier. Now, I haven't done it before, but if I was to make a Crescent, I'm not sure you can even do Crescent on a Rapier, but I'll have to look into that. Maybe get back later. Okay, whoop, went out the wrong door. The tower on the other side, the twin to this one, is a very important tower. This is the tower that has the key to Sage Freck. And this is also the tower that has a guy that I refer to as the Puppet Master. I'm not sure if that's his official name or not. Kind of a spoiler, in case you don't know. Some of us have found out the hard way. If you do not kill this guy up here, he will revive the boss after you've killed her. So you go through all the trouble to kill the boss, and you think the boss fight's done, and you never get the victory notice that you killed the boss. And then he resurrects her, and you've got to fight her again. So, and that'll go on until he dies. He doesn't have any dialogue, or, well...
What do you want? I am but a humble servant. I do not wish to interfere. I won't cause you trouble. I won't.
So he tries to convince you that he's harmless.
What do you want? I won't cause you trouble.
And not a problem. It's a lie. So, yeah. He dies. So here's the key to Sage Freck. Finally, That's actually the boss room below us. That's where the boss fight takes place. So, yeah, they put that key as far away as they possibly could from Sage Freck. I think the only thing they could do that would have been crueler would have been to actually put it in the boss room and not give you access to it until after the boss fight. Okay, so before we go any further, let's go ahead and get Freck taken care of. Now, with the shortcut open, it's a pretty easy run back up to him, so... Remember, there's a hole down here that's instant death, so when you're coming back to get him, don't run past him by accident and end up down that hole and having to start the level all over again. You don't have to recollect the keys. Once you have the keys, you have them forever, so that is a good thing. So.
Magnificent. I never expected I might escape alive. My name is Freck. I am known as a sage. I thought to claim a demon's soul or two for the sake of my magic. But just look at me now. I have been enfeebled by my long imprisonment. But I can still move my legs, and I can make it back to the Nexus. I thank the stars that my confinement lasts no longer. I owe you my life.
Okay, so we'll get into that stiletto here in a minute.
Enfeebled by my long imprisonment. But I can still move my legs, and I can make it back to the Nexus.
Alright, so his dialogue is done. He will appear in the Nexus when you get back, and he will be the guy who turns boss souls into more powerful spells. Some very handy, powerful spells. So you want to be sure, especially up to this point, that you don't consume any of the boss souls, because several of them are that we have gotten so far. Actually, all of them that we have gotten so far are good for some fairly powerful spells. So, all right. So, even though this stairwell looks like a nice, clear, clean run, it is not. There is a Black Phantom up here that inflicts plague damage. And she's also invisible until you get right up on top of her, and you can hear her crossbow fire. Now that dagger she's got is doing a plague build-up every time it hits me. So, unfortunately, we don't get a build-up bar. So, yeah, let's go that route. If you get too far away from her, she'll pull out that crossbow. And you want to be careful how far up these stairs you go, because you will activate a cutscene in the middle of your fight. Ah. And there it is. Oh. Fortunately, though, once she's dead, she is dead. This is your Stone of Ephemeral Eyes that we've been picking up throughout the game. And they are used to restore your human form. Alright, so getting back to... Nice thing is we've got the shortcut open and all the doors open, all the keys collected. So getting back to where our souls are really is not a major deal. So we'll just kind of quickly get back there. Now, the difference between the fresh spice and the aged spice is the amount of mana that each restores when you use it. So I believe the fresh spice restores 50 and the aged spice restores 100. So you can see that faint green glow down there. That's that guy walking towards us. So we'll kind of wait till he turns around, because they do have a soul ray spell that they can throw that has quite the range on it. And we'll just patiently wait here for him to come back out of that door. Now that little green spell that they cast, it doesn't really have the range on it. So you can actually stay out of its range, but if they cast their soul ray or soul arrow, whatever this, it's a soul arrow type spell. If they cast that, then that will reach all the way to the end of the hallway. So you definitely want to get out of dodge in a hurry. You can see that little green pillar up there. That's our souls. Like I said, it's not real hard to get back to them. It does look like looks like her items are gone. Yep. Normally, because her items are important items, well, we'll get one off of the next Black Phantom that we kill. She has the Black Eye Stone, and but I think you get it regardless off the first Black Phantom that you kill. Okay, this is our boss. Oh, there's one item that I'd like to go pick up though. I don't pick this up when I'm up there, just because the Black Phantom will begin shooting at you, and you're in a kind of a precarious situation when she does. So, and I think this is one of the things that people have such an issue in Latria about is having to run back and forth to do several different things. I don't mind it so much, I guess. I actually, like I said, really do enjoy this particular zone. But right here where there's a break in the wall, there's an item down here on this ledge. We're going to go ahead and go down here. And it's not like a majorly important item, but it is a couple of Widow's Lotuses, which are plague resistance. And so it's just a nice little free item. Alright, so this boss has some caveats to her. She's going to cast some mirrors. So one of the things you don't want to wear your Ring of Magical Sharpness, because it lowers your magical defense a bunch, and her attack is strictly magic based, so makes it easier for them. And she also, after she's initially attacked, she casts mirrors of herself. Doing damage to those mirrors doesn't do any damage to her. It just distracts you. And the way you can identify the mirrors is when you target lock on them, they'll get a little health bar underneath them. When you're actually target locked on the real doll, she does not have a health bar under her. She's on the main health bar on the bottom of your screen. So, and there is a trophy for killing her without killing any of the mirror or doing any damage at all to any of the mirrors. So, that's how you can tell which one is her, and you can also tell by the spell that's being cast. All the mirrors cast a much smaller soul ray, where hers is much larger in the animation when you look at it. So she also casts these green traps, magical traps on the floor. You kind of got to keep an idea in your mind of where they're at, because if you get stuck in it, you're stuck in it for like 10 or 15 seconds, and everybody is free to attack you. So just bear that in mind. And I like to clear the back of the church out for chairs and the dreglings, because they are annoying and they will give you issues during the fight. So let's go see if we can't get another boss. Okay, now she will not go aggro on you until you get closer to her. So you're free to kind of clear some of this stuff out. These chairs will get in your way during the boss fight. So as for me, I use this spot because it's one of the safe spots in the room where you generally can't get attacked. So I like to clear that table out. I always work from the right side. She doesn't throw any traps on this far right side normally. They're normally on the left side. So, and I do not pick any items up until after the boss fight. Okay. Now, those are the mirrors, and if you'll see, okay, that's the real one. And as soon as you attack her, she starts to disappear. So you see how that one had a health bar underneath it. Oh, she's over on the other side. Nope, she's right here. And a lot of times, if you'll sit back here, they will all calm, with the thieves ring on, they will calm down, and I'll turn around. Now, she is one up in front of us, I could tell by the spell she cast, but there's usually a trap close to her and probably a dregling, so I always like to heal up, even if it's just a little bit, before I go up there, just in case I do get stuck in one of those traps. Or 5 of them, for that matter. Like I said, those dreglings just get in the way. And there's a million different techniques to do this. This is just the way I do it. Now, I'm not sure where she went this time. So you target lock. See how it's got a health bar there? That's a mirror. She's probably up front then. There she is. And there's a trap. Again, that's another mirror. And okay, so that's not her. Surely she didn't go back to the same spot again. Oh no, she is behind me somewhere. Yeah, that's exactly why I... Odd. Okay, that almost ended bad, but we found her, so... And, those traps, they are so annoying. Now, there's a few items that we can pick up around, and now all the traps are gone. But as you're collecting things, you want to be real careful not to step on that carpet in front of the altar. If you do, you'll be pulled out of this room and taken up to where the archstone is for this boss. This is one of the few bosses where the archstone is not right there. Actually, I think it's the only one where the archstone isn't right in the room when you kill the boss. So you go around and collect everything, and there's one item behind the altar. We just kind of slide up here real careful and avoiding that carpet and that altar. So we come around the back side here. And then we can pick up the baby's nail, which is what that black phantom was using to attack us with. Now, when you walk onto this carpet to move up to the archstone, it's important that you're not running or rolling, because when some gargoyles are going to fly down in a cutscene and pick you up and take you up. When they set you down, whatever movement you were doing when they picked you up will continue. So if you were in a roll or a sprint, you'll sprint right off the edge where they drop you, and I'll show you in a minute how what I'm talking about. Okay, so when they set you down, whatever movement you were doing, you will continue. You'll notice the edges here. If you are running or rolling when the gargoyles pick you up, you can run or roll, continue that animation right off this ledge and die, which really stinks, because then you got to come back through there and get picked up by the gargoyles again because you haven't touched the archstone yet. So here's our archstone. There's our doll demon. And hey, luckily we didn't get invaded. There's a high probability you will get invaded when you defeat the doll demon. It is a place where people like to invade a lot. So a lot of times you will come up there and won't be able to go back to the Nexus until you defeat an invader or he defeats you. So we've turned Sage Freck loose. So let's go talk to him now that we've gotten to a point where we can do get some serious spells that are extremely handy and valuable.
I have a proposal for you. Could you bring your demon souls to me? As I determine more about the essence of the soul, I can teach you new magic. A demon's soul is no mere amalgamation of lesser souls. You have your wits about you. Surely you understand.
Okay, so basically he tells you, bring me demon souls, I'll teach you magic. And we're going to get right into that, what he does. So you'll see some of the souls have a price on them, or some of the spells have a price on them. Other spells cost you a soul. So we have beat the giant spider, the hard demon, the iron spider. Fire spray, if you look at the animation on the right, is the only spell that you can cast while moving around. It is very handy, and it does significant damage, especially the way we're built right now. So we'll definitely get that. You need all the spells for the trophy anyway, so you got to get them all, so you might as well get them. You have to do at least 2 playthroughs to get all the spells. If you build the Insanity Catalyst early, you will have to do 3 playthroughs to get all the spells, because there are several bosses whose souls are used for 2 spells from 2 different vendors, because we're going to get another vendor eventually, the witch Urea. She'll sit over here, and she sells us some really powerful spells as well. So now if we look, we currently have, where is my girl at? There she is. We currently have 3 spell slots. So we'll do some attunement here shortly, but to get those up, okay, I think it's maybe 24 to get it up. So we can do pretty good with 3 right now. So we'll take our intelligence up a little bit, but we'll get our magic up, because that is the core of the damage that we do. And we will go over, and really, in all honesty, with 3 spell slots, my personal opinion, the best 2 spells to run are Soul Ray, which takes 2 slots, and Fire Spray.
I cannot express my gratitude enough. Oh, to have my wish granted at so late an age. Thank you. You are a fine magician. As promised, let me teach you new magic.
So to change our spells, we come in here to attune magic, and you click on the spell to unattune it. It tells you it's attuned by the little yellow triangle in the top left corner. So the ones we're going to do, because we only have 3 slots, are definitely Fire Spray, Soul Ray, and then let's keep the Cloak. Okay, that was my mistake. I could have swore Soul Ray was a 2-slot spell. It is just a 1. Soul Ray is extremely powerful, though, and it will hit multiple enemies at a time. So these 3 are a good 3 to run with for now. And
Bring me
that's
more
going...
souls when you can. I patiently await you, my fine magician friend.
That is going to conclude episode 3 on building a mage. And right now you are pretty set to go through the rest of the worlds in whatever order you want. You've got the majority of really good items for your mage, and you are now pretty much prepared to face anything. We'll just start working through them individually and get us up to where we can get our Insanity Catalyst, and we'll go from there. Again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, And feel free to comment if there's anything you'd like to see me do different or you think I could do better. And have a good day and good luck hunting souls.